Okay, hello everybody and welcome to this new video. Thank you very much for reaching out to this video. Success Promise here, and thank you very much for reaching in this video. Actually, this video I'm gonna be talking about the transistor. Yeah, I know you know about transistors, how it works, and also a lot of videos on YouTube talking about transistors. But in this particular video, I'm gonna be putting into practice what the transistor is used for. Actually, now you know the transistor is a semiconductor device which actually amplifies and switch current in an electronic circuit. Now, normally you can use a transistor to make an amplifier, and also you can use a transistor to act as a switch. Yeah, which I'm going to be doing in this video, and you're going to learn a lot. Now, actually, definition of a transistor. Now, a transistor is a semiconductor device which you can use to amplify current or the switch circuit. Like, if you want to make it as like a switch in the circuit, or you want to make it for amplification, you can do any of that as electronic hobbyist. Now, if you want to talk about the three main parts of a transistor, it consists of the base, the emitter, and the collector. Yeah, these three main parts are the terminals which is going to be used to connect to a project if you want to interface with the transistor. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things we should need to know in transistors, but in this video I'm going to be making a short breakdown for you to understand and have a full detailed knowledge on how you can interface with your transistors, put it in the project, and also make this practical, which I'm going to be doing later in this video. Now, you can see that on the internet there are a lot of definitions of transistors, like the terminals, the terminals which is used for. I found one on ChatGPT right here. It says emitter. This is the heavy doped emitter. The emitter is a heavy doped and emits charge carriers. Yeah, it's actually either electrode or hose, depending on the type of transistor, into the base. It is responsible for supplying the majority of charge carriers into the flow. Yeah, and yeah, there are different types of definition of transistors online, and you know you can get a lot of definitions, but all are still good if you really understand it. Now, firstly, the base. Now, the base is most transistors have a base of 0.7 volt. Example, the BC547, the 2N222. Now, this type of transistors are like you need 0.7 volts to be inputted in the base to open, to join the emitter to the collector. Yeah, these transistors, this is how they work. So if you need to input a 0.7 volt base current to the transistor, for the transistor to join the emitter to the collector, like to allow current to flow from the emitter to the collector, or from the collector to the emitter, depending on the type of transistor which you are using. Now, actually, the emitter normally is connected to ground, yeah, and the collector is the collector is the output of the transistor, which you're going to be connecting to your project, either a LED or even using it for amplification. But these connection varies according to what you're using the transistor for. Now, actually, I'm going to be talking about how the transistor works, so let's go. Now, the transistor can work in two ways, as I said earlier in this video: amplification and switching. Yeah, you can use it to amplify, and you can use it to switch, like to make a switch on. Yeah, that I'm talking about. You can also use it to amplify audio current, like audio current or voltage, anything you want to amplify. A transistor can simply be used in that. Yeah, and I'm going to be listing how it works. Now, talking about amplification, a small input which is going to be connected to the base can allow a large flow of current from the collector to the emitter. That's the explanation for the amplification. Yeah, a small input which you're going to be inputting into the base of the transistor can allow a large current to flow from the collector of the transistor to the emitter of the transistor, and that explains the amplification process. Now, when talking about the switching, now a little input in the base of the transistor can toggle the emitter to the collector. Yeah, like to open the switch or to close the switch. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, and this method is actually the switching method. A small input at the base of the transistor can toggle the collector emitter, like on and off. Yeah, on and off, that I'm talking about. Like it can toggle the emitter collector terminals to be on or off, and that is how you're going to interface it when you're making it like a switch. Now, in the amplification process, I'm going to come again. It's actually a small input in the base of the transistor can allow a large flow of current from the collector of the transistor to the emitter of the transistor, and that is how it's going to be used in the amplification process. And in this video, I'm going to be making a class A amplifier. Yeah, a class A amplifier is really a simple transistor which I'm going to be using one transistor, some few capacitors, and also some few resistors, and also an audio input. Actually, I'm going to be making the amplification project, and also I'm going to be making the switching project. Yeah, on the switching project, I'm going to be using a LED, like to control a LED to turn and off in the project. Yeah, it's actually in the switching project, but in the amplification project, I'm going to be amplifying my voice. Yeah, I'm going to be connecting a mic to the amplifier, and we're going to see the output on the speaker, how it is, if it really amplifies the power or the current. You're gonna learn a lot in this video. I would like you to stay to the end of this video to have great insight on how transistor works, and also you're not gonna forget this video because this video has imparted a lot of knowledge into your electronic brain. Stay tuned to the practical, and let's go into the tutorial immediately. Okay, welcome back, and this is the switching process of the project. I am going to start off with switching process of the project using the transistor. You can see the transistor right here. This is the 2N2222 type of transistor which I'm going to be using in this video, and I'm going to be using a LED as a load, and also I'm going to be using a resistor, a jumper wire, and also a breadboard for connection. And yes, yeah, you're going to learn a lot in this video. Then later in this video, I'm going to be making the amplifier. Yeah, so let's quickly connect the project, and yes. Okay, firstly, the pinout of this transistor is actually emitter, base, and collector. Let's go into the password. Yeah. Okay, now the connection is complete. Let's test it with a 3.7 volts lithium battery. Wow, it works pretty fine. Now, actually, this is the switching, and this is the making the transistor as a switch project. Now, actually, this is the 2N22 type of transistor, and it's actually conducting as a switch. It's actually acting as a switch in this project, thereby turning on the LED, completing the circuit, and turning on the LED. So this is how you're going to interface with your transistor if you want to make your transistor as a switch. Now, as you can see here, this is the resistor which is connected to the base of the transistor. The other leg of the resistor is connected to the positive side of the power supply, and you can see the emitter of the transistor is connected to the negative side of the power supply, and as you can see, the collector side of the transistor is connected to the negative side of the LED, and the other positive side of the LED is connected to the positive rail of the power supply. Actually, the switch closes the negative to the negative of the LED. Actually, now watch this. The negative side of the power supply is connected to the emitter of the transistor, and the negative side of the LED is connected to the collector of the transistor. So when a little current like 0.7 volts, as I said in the intro video, is powered by the base of the transistor, when 0.7 volt peak to peak is connected to the base of the transistor, it closes the switch from emitter to collector, thereby completing the circuit and turning on the LED. This is how it works as a switch, and I hope you really understand what I'm talking about. Let's quickly go to the amplification process of a transistor. Okay, here's the peak to peak voltage at the base of the transistor. Let's go back to the video. Now, hold on a second. I didn't explain the types of transistors. Sorry, I didn't do that. Now, actually, there are different types of transistor. We have the PNP transistor, we have the NPN type, and also the BJT. Also the FET, yeah, FET, yeah, the FET, most FET. Actually, those ones are used for high power operations. You want to make an inverter, you want to control large circuit with large current draw. You use those FETs. Actually, those FETs is actually a simple, still an understandable way that it needs a current, small current in the gate, which allows the large current to flow from the collector to the emitter. Let's from the source to the drain. That is how it's also explained. It's just like a transistor, but in more higher current operation. And we have, as I said earlier, we have the NPN type of transistor, we have the PNP type of transistor, we have the BJT, and also the MOSFET. Let's go into the connection process, and you're going to learn a lot. Subscribe. Okay, just a little tip. When I checked about like the current which the circuit draws, it draws about 0.015 amps. Yeah, really small of the circuit. It draws about let me say 15 amps, something like that. 15 to 16 amps is the current which it draws, like the circuit 15, 16, 14. So this is just a little tip which I want to share about the circuit current draw. Thank you very much for watching this video to the ending. Actually, I'm going to make a part 2 for this video. Actually, in this video I interface a transistor on how you can be using it as a switch. In my next video, I'm going to be interfacing it with the transistor as an amplifier. Yeah, I'm going to be using it as an amplifier, and you're going to love that video. Do well to stay to that video, and actually I'm going to be posting the video in a week or so, so do well to stay tuned. And thank you so much for watching this video to the ending. Do well to subscribe, and bye for now.